Well, hey YouTube! So today, guys, we are back here with another review. And today we have a review here. This is the Carvana review, guys. So this is a two-part video. This is the first part. This is going to be me, guys, talking about my experience with the company of Carvana. The car itself is part two. It comes on about halfway through this video. I actually made that part already, so I can already tell you that's how it's going to work. So guys, I'm at a point in my life where I am ready to kind of get my own car. You know, I'm 23 years old. I'm slowly becoming an adult, very slowly, I'll just say that now. I share a car with my twin brother, and you know what? We both want the car. It's the reality of our lives. So we're kind of realizing that if we don't take care of this now, it's going to become an even bigger problem when things need to happen immediately. I was looking on Carvana, I was looking on other couple of sites. You see the advertisements for Carvana. The vending machine, for example, is a really cool thing. The fact that you can just buy a car on your couch. When they were advertising Carvana a few years ago, it was all about being on the couch, using your laptop and stuff like that. The advertising has changed a bit over time, but still, it's still good to see that, first of all, they're still in business, because I didn't know if this concept was actually big enough to last, which it has, and I ended up buying a car in Carvana, guys. I went with the Carvana car. I purchased a 2012 Honda Accord Sports Edition, and it was the color was white, guys. So yeah, it was a really cool car I saw on Carvana. I didn't see too many imperfections. They have something called the 150 point review, and there was very minor blemishes on there, mostly exterior scratches, very minor scratches, by the way, and no mechanical issues, no accident issues in terms of accident history. You know what I'm saying? There was no even repair history either, guys. It was really only just warranty replacement. Apparently my Honda CR-V had this problem a long time ago, but the airbags did get recalled, and this one was no exception, so you see that in the Carfax. But that's about it. That's essentially it, and I'm like, wow, this seems like a really good deal. Yeah, yes, guys, this was a little bit more money than I wanted to spend for a car. You know, I don't make that much money. I do a full-time job, but still, I don't make that much. But the car just provided me with enough value. Also, I didn't mention this, guys. The car only had 13,000 miles for a used car that came out 8 years ago. What that tells me is that this person, probably an elder person, probably just never used this car. I don't know why. Maybe soon after they got the car, they probably couldn't drive it anymore. They probably maybe couldn't lost their license, you know, because you get too old, you don't renew your license and all. You have to take an eye test, guys, and you know that does happen, and I think that could have been what happened here. But God knows what actually happened in this situation. But the funny thing is, when I spoke to the dealer, I'm accelerating a bit just to make this point and hit this point home. He said that he was very surprised by the condition of this car. They typically don't get cars as nice. Usually the detailing process is more of a pain, but he even told me this is a beautiful car. This person took care of it, and that made me feel really good. So back to the process, guys. You know, you buy the car, you get to the point where you have to start making some financial decisions, guys. I went with the Carvana financing deal. It's about a 3-year, I believe it's about a 3 to 5 year contract. Not really a contract. It's more of a financing loan type thing. The APR is somewhat reasonable. It's about 7%, 7 to 8% APR. Overall, that's pretty reasonable for car loans. You know, I think they realize we're mostly millennials or Gen Zers buying this, and our credit, while not so prime per se, maybe isn't the best. If you have like an excellent credit above 800, for example, you probably can get that down to 6% APR roughly, guys. And I'm assuming, by saying this, I'm assuming you guys know what APR means. It's essentially the interest you're paying per year on the total list price. So just something to keep in mind. Obviously, guys, they need to make money on it somehow, and that's kind of like their profit margin. So they actually like when you finance the car. You know, it goes through their parent company, Silver Rock. Silver Rock is an actual dealer company. They actually are a car dealer, but you don't really have to worry about that. I know that sounds kind of sketchy. It's like, oh no, I'm trying to avoid the dealership, so I'm doing Carvana, but there's still a dealer involved. Yes, that is true. There is a dealer involved technically, but other than that technicality, you'll see the process is not so bad. It's not perfect though. I'll get into that. Okay, guys. So you go through the financing options. You're ready to buy the car. You pick a delivery date, all that stuff. You know, I made it like 2 weeks or so. You know, it takes some time for the car to get to you, and I understand that. I mean, this car was in, I believe it was in Georgia, so, you know, I gave it 2 weeks, you know, just to give them enough time to get it to me. So I bought the car, guys, and immediately after you buy it, you have to sign the contract, etc., all that stuff, upload your license, there's a contract they want you to sign, and there's also, guys, there's something called like an I forgot the number. It's like an 82 form or something. That's called the proof of insurance form. So you call your car insurance company. I have Geico. You tell them you're buying a car. You tell them when you're getting it, and then you tell Geico or whatever company you're using the effective start date. That's the date in which you want the car insurance to begin. Typically, Carvana can be pretty strict about that. They want you to have the car insurance start at the time you get the car, even 3 days before, depending on your state, which is annoying because you're paying for 3 days of car insurance in your own name without having the car. Also, guys, let's say if they somehow mess it up in the transport process, although you shouldn't be liable, and they say you're not liable, the technicality is the car is technically in your name by that point, and it's something to worry about. It's something I definitely worried about, but luckily you'll see what I did later on to kind of alleviate those concerns. So you buy the car, you get all that information done. After that point, you're going to get a call from the underwriting team. The underwriting team is going to say, they're basically going to say what's up. They're going to tell you if any of your paperwork needs to be addressed, etc. In my case, the underwriting team did call me, and it wasn't too complicated of a problem. A small technicality in my paperwork, and we addressed it pretty quickly. But after that, I did get a call back from the delivery services team. This by a little bit after. I'm talking about the day before it was supposed to come, guys. I got a call the day before, and they're like, you know what, this needs to be delayed because you know what, we don't have the car ready to go. They told me because of COVID, which is kind of a cheap excuse if you ask me, they had to delay the delivery of the car. They were telling me that they don't have as many truckers as usual, which I understand. You know, this is COVID. I was pretty understandable. The guy gave me $100 back for free just because of my inconvenience. Small caveat there, you don't get that back until after you finish the return period and you don't return the car. Then at that point you get the $100, which makes sense. They don't need you profiting off them, considering they're gonna have to do all this crazy reverse logistics if you don't want the car in the end anyway. So you know what, I kind of get that. All right, I was pretty. I'll be honest with you, I had to call Geico, and I'm like, you know what, Geico, you gotta push back my insurance effective date 2 more weeks. I had to call that. Then they sent me a new contract reflecting that new date. I have to fill out a contract out again. Okay, so I did all that, guys. It was a bombshell. I'll be honest with you. 2 weeks is a long period of time. So, you know, I did the 2 weeks. I waited the 2 weeks, guys. You know, I started contacting customer service a little bit more often at this point. I just needed to make sure that there was no more issue because I need this car. Honestly, the longer I have to share a car with my brother, the more insane I'm going. You know, so I kept calling them, and they kept giving me, to be honest with you, the similar type of runaround. And you know, I was definitely considering approaching the next due date because you know what. And my parents honestly were telling me to cancel it at this point. But you know what? I just wanted to hold faith that Carvana would deliver. I mean, they seem to be a well-reviewed company overall. People seem to like them and all that stuff. So I spoke to this one representative. I don't remember his name. Funny thing is, I actually got the same guy multiple times after this. He was able to help me. He confirmed to me that the car, which was originally in Georgia, did make it to its local destination, kind of like their local Carvana hub. So whether you're picking up or getting it delivered, it's going to first go to a hub. They're going to prep it, the car. They're going to clean it. They're going to inspect it for you. You get to see those Carvana trucks in there, which is cool. They don't have those vending machines at every location, if you couldn't guess. It's really in the major cities. Like, I know it's in Philadelphia. I know there's one in the Southwest somewhere. So they really only keep it in a few select locations. But even the Carvana trucks look cool. It has their name on it and all that stuff. But anyway, they prep it, they do all that stuff. Now, it confirmed to me that the car was actually ready. Also, guys, now that I remember, the title was still not in my name yet, and that caused the delay. Once again, COVID was their excuse, but whatever. At this point, the title was back in my name, the car was prepped, it was ready to go. And I spoke to the guy about, there's been a lot of stuff going on with this, and at this point, I'd feel more comfortable picking up the car. Just because at this point I just need my car. I've already been waiting a week past the due date, and I'm almost ready to the next due date and all that stuff. The guy's like on the phone. He's like, "Yeah, that's okay. I'm gonna contact the branch." There's a guy at the local branch called Nick. If you guys go to Deer Park, New York to get your car, you know Nick, he's the boss. We spoke to Nick. I actually got Nick's number. I spoke to him directly, and he was able to help me. He scheduled a pickup time for me. And guys, I walked into the building with my mask on and everything. He's like, "Are you Daniel?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am Daniel." He handed me the keys. He says, "Test drive this car, sign this piece of paper." There's like 2 signature forms on there, which would take 30 seconds, and you're done. It's literally that easy. So, took the keys, drove it around with my brother. It was clean, there was no problems, which you're going to see in the second part of this video when I show you the car interior and exterior and stuff like that, guys. We drove it around, it was perfect. We signed off 2 forms, and that was it. It was really like that, guys. So, I think it's time to give you my overall review of the company. And, you know, I also want to go into the car next, but let me do this quickly. Overall, the back end of Carvana, the logistics team, the underwriting, I do think that they could benefit a little bit more from some additional training, or maybe just some additional protocols to help the consumer. I just think there's times where it kind of makes you feel sketched out by Carvana. It does, I'll be honest with you. There's times that I'm like, is this actually going to happen? Because it was a really good deal too for what you were getting, and I was just confused. But in the end, the people is what makes Carvana great, especially the local people, the local dealers, the representatives over the phone. What I mean by representatives, I just mean the customer reps. I don't mean the underwriting team, the delivery. Those are more the professionals in the corporate office. Those guys could be a little bit better. But the local guys seem to be really good. They were willing to work with me, and that was actually really good. The overall opinion of the company, I think they're solid. I think they could benefit, but at the same time, I think they are pretty good in the end. You know, I really do think so, and you will get a good car, hopefully. Otherwise, you can take advantage of that 7-day grace period. So guys, I'm going to switch it over to the second part of this video. I just want to say the closing things. You know, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, favorite, put on the notification bell, turn off the ad block. Please, guys, do that. This video will come out first on my website, so check that out. If you guys want to buy something pertaining to a car, some very useful car things, a wireless charger, a stopgap so crumbs don't fall in your gaps, maybe a cup holder, an extension, or something like that. Cool stuff for your car. The Amazon link will be down below. The international link for Gear Best will also be down below, guys. Check that stuff out. Make sure you guys check out my girlfriend's amazing content as well. And without further ado, let's move this to part 2. Thank you and bye. As expected, guys, all sensitive information here. Can't really show you that. But I just want to illustrate the point that this car looks clean, guys. Very, very clean. Holy mackerel, guys. This car, although used, it's really hard to tell this thing is used. It's that premier. I'm going to take you guys outside for a quick moment, and we're going to see the outside of the car. So one cool thing is there's like this stripe on here. I don't know why, per se. There's a nice stripe on here. Here's the back. I can't really show you guys the license plate, you know, for sensitive information, but I can show you the Carvana part. This is something that you can't just get anywhere, guys. This is Carvana. It's a special edition car, which is awesome, guys. There's the other side of it, looking all sweet and nice. Here's the front, looking all sweet and nice. Yeah, I'm gonna maybe pop open the trunk for you guys. Let's see if the trunk is open. The trunk is not open. Let me open that up for you guys so you can see the inside of the trunk. Alright, I'm actually gonna do both. I'm gonna do the I'm gonna pull, and I'm gonna do this, which is the hood. If you're curious. If you guys are curious how the trunks come in a Carvana, as you guys can see, the back here is crystal clear, perfection in the back there. So, while I do think the car was in good condition, you know, based on the price, also it just showed you that the prep team did a good job on making the car clean, because I'm sure it must have had some issues, you know. So let me get my hand in here. Alright. Here it is, guys. The engine is clean. battery is clean. There's like almost no rust in here at all. It's spectacular to look at, guys. It really is clean. Trunk is closed. The hood is closed. That's the gas cap, by the way. I don't feel the need to go too much into the gas cap, you know. But overall, guys, I mean, I think this is it for the demo of the car. You know, just to confirm everything works perfectly. Same thing with that. You got a little mirror here. The thing is, I don't want to test the video just because of the copyright concern I have. Unfortunately, that's just the way we live on YouTube these days, you know.